Hello folks, and welcome to yet another video about an interesting item I've successfully managed to acquire. Now, you might be saying to yourself, oh, the liar, the cheat, the complete villain is trying to pass off his old Cellatron calculator as a new one. To which I say, not quite. Although there is a touch of correctness to it. This here is the Mercedes Euklid model 29, which was produced in Germany by the company Mercedes Euklid, and which later actually changed names to Cellatron. I don't know why the cover has the Cellatron title, but that's a mystery for another day. As you can see, it's very familiar to similar adding machines of its time. It comes with number setting on the keyboard, just like so. And you can clear it by pressing the L button. I believe since it's a German machine, L stands for Löschung, which essentially means clear, if the old Cellatron manual is anything to go by. That said, we can just simply add some things by adding some numbers. Let's see. Let's just add 256. And then I just turn the crank down at the lower right hand corner, and you didn't see that at all. So again, I just turn the crank, and so it goes. Now if I wish to subtract with this thing, what I have to do is flip these levers. This one has the barely visible number 2 next to it, representing the register 2. This one has register 1, representing the top register. So with these I can set this so that turn of the crank decrements the counter, and I can set it so a turn of the crank decrements the results register. So now, if I just zoom in a bit, wait until the camera has gotten its bearings, and I turn the crank now, and you'll see that it does the addition by means of addition of complement numbers. This is actually exactly how the Cellatron and also the Curta does things, which is mildly interesting. In order to clear the thing, I just use the levers on the side here. So, like that. So, there we go. Needed to turn the crank once. And just push the lever to the side, and the thing is cleared. Now, that's it for addition and subtraction. How about something a little bit more interesting? Well, we can do one thing for starters. Addition with automatic clearing, which is done by depressing the add button and just picking some numbers at random and turning the crank. And you'll see that this causes the ghost living in the machine to push the L button whenever the crank is turned. Is how I've determined it to be working anyway. So that's all well and good. Addition, subtraction, clearing, automatic clearing, and then we have multiplication. So for simplicity's sake, let's just take the number of minutes in a year thing I like to do. Or so, I'm take a 60 here in the keyboard, 60. I manually shift the carriage one step to the right, and you'll see that this little arrow here is now pointing to the 2. And then I simply crank 6 times. And after that there's a little button down by the side of the crank which I can push, which when pushed will make the carriage jump back to the, or jump one step to the right. Then I can clear the keyboard and input, well, that was the number of seconds in an hour, so may as well go all the way. So a number of seconds in an hour, 3600. Clear this and multiply it by 24. So I will just zoom in so you can see what the machine is actually doing. I'll try to shed a bit more light on the situation. So I crank 2 times. So 24 times 3600 is 86,400. I'm also going to shift the decimal marker a bit so it's more clear. Next up, I will input this number into the keyboard. So 86,400 and clear the carriage times 365. If I zoom in a little bit again. There we go. So 365 gives us the old familiar number of 31,536 seconds in a year. All well and good. So I clear the keyboard again, clear the carriage, and now we get to the most interesting part, which is division. This machine, much like the Heyman, is manually cranked. It does automatic division, and it's made by the same person who made the Heyman, or designed. So, without further ado, let's enter our dividend, which in this case is going to be the same old one. It's going to be the 355 through 113. So I use these twirlers at the top to set the dividend. 355. Can zoom out, and I'll set the divisor in the keyboard. 113. Then I push the division button, and you'll see it automatically sets the levers the way the machine wants them. And I shift the carriage all the way to the right, and the levers do a fun little dance. Then, as before, I simply crank. And the lever locks when I can no longer crank any further. And so we see that the, we had 3 digits in the dividend, 3 in the divisor, which leaves 1 whole number in the quotient. And as before, we can see 3.14159. And as we all know, that's good old pi. In order to return the machine to normal, we have to do a few steps. First of all, push the division button back to normal. Set the lever back the way it was. We clear the registers. And finally we see that the carriage shift button is locked down. So, in order to release it, just push the carriage a little bit to the right. Boom. And so, the machine is ready once more to perform calculations. Now some of these keys do stick a little bit. I'm gonna put some lubricant in there. I'm sure that will help. But that concludes it for the demonstration of the Mercedes Euklid manual calculator with automatic division and keyboard input. Thank you very much for watching.